Goswami Tulsidas ji, who wrote the Ramcharitmanas, added in something which was relevant to his age. So we had this wonderful ability to keep the soul of the old and add in something of the new. And we did this again and again and again and again. Right? Therefore, we never lost our attachment to our stories. We never lost our attachment to our ancestors. Because while we kept the connection to the beauty of the old, we always added in something of the modern which made it relevant once again for a new generation.
Sometimes there's an intentional or unintentional push to make these characters more relevant to modern youth, right? This can be either putting modern clothes on a deity, like having them wear a tux, or like in like a shirt pant, or portraying some gods holding hands, or doing things that most people would consider very modern and not true to ancient literature. Do you think this push from modernization kind of takes away the philosophies that we talked about, or is it like, is this okay? Kind of how do you feel about this kind of issue? Because it's something that, at least here in the Northeast, we've had some kind of issues like this pop up, and throughout the US.
Oh, damn good question. Let me ask it with a counter question.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that India is the only pre-Bronze Age ancient culture that has survived till today? Every other, we like to think, the dharmic religions, we like to think we are unique.
Mm-hmm.
We are not. There were many others like us in the ancient world, many others who were goddess worshipping, nature worshipping, comfortable with atheism, murti puja. There are many others like us. Every single one of them has died out. Every single one of them. Pre-Bronze Age. China is not pre-Bronze Age. It's an ancient culture, but it's not pre-Bronze Age. It's around 2.5 to 3,000 years old. How come we have survived? One obvious thing is, of course, our ancestors were very brave. They kept fighting the last 1,000 years. They didn't surrender to the invaders. That is a fact. I try and speak of that. One of our brave ancestors, King Suhaildev, through my latest book.
Yeah.
But that's just one reason. How is it that we have refused to forget our stories? How is it that the ancient Greeks, that modern Greeks do not believe in the stories of Zeus anymore? They don't believe that Zeus actually exists or Apollo actually exists. How come the modern Egyptians don't believe in Amun-Ra anymore? How come modern Iraqis don't believe that Gilgamesh actually existed anymore? And how come, if you ask most of, practically all of us Indians, you ask them, does Lord Shiva exist? Does Lord Vishnu exist? What do you think they'll say? Of course.
Yeah, we'll say yeah.
Or they'll say, of course. Yeah? There's no doubt in our mind. How come we are still alive? How come we continue to hold on so tightly to these stories while others have forgotten it? Why? Why do you think that is?
I think there's an element of adaptation to kind of modern.
Spot
era.
on. Spot on. When a hurricane comes to a land, if the trees are too rigid, they will all fall down. But if there are no trees, if they're just grass, then they'll get trampled over by everyone as well. Then, I mean, if you're just grass and everyone's trampling over you, kya asthitva hai aapka? What existence do you have? Your existence means nothing. But say you're a tree which is strong yet flexible, like coconut trees are, right? When the hurricane comes, they'll bend, let the things go. Moment it stops, they'll come back, right? So it's an ideal combination of strength and flexibility. That's what our culture has. That we will keep the strength of the old. That, chants which go back, or rituals which go back thousands and thousands of years. Right? In the Indus Valley, Indus Saraswati civilization, you find the Shivlingas of them. Right? And we've been carrying on with it for thousands and thousands of years. The Sri Rudram comes from the Vedas. Purushukta comes from the Vedas. At least 8, 9,000, 10,000 years old. Till today we chant it, right? But at the same time, we adapt our stories as well. Lakshman Rekha is not there in the original Valmiki Ramayana.
Yeah.
It's not there. The first time it's mentioned was just 400 years ago in the Ramcharitmanas. But today most Indians believe Lakshman Rekha is there in the Ramayana. What is that? It's essentially flicks. It's like you've got the soul of the old, and Goswami Tulsidas ji, who wrote the Ramcharitmanas, added in something which was relevant to his age. So we had this wonderful ability to keep the soul of the old and add in something of the new. And we did this again and again and again and again. Right? Therefore, we never lost our attachment to our stories. We never lost our attachment to our ancestors. Because while we kept the connection to the beauty of the old, we always added in something of the modern, which made it relevant once again for a new generation. So what is considered by some as, no, you're doing something different. I say, boss, that is actually our core strength. The fact that we can keep the best of the old and add in something of the new is what has kept us alive for so long. Is what is the reason, one of the key reasons why we are the only pre-Bronze Age civilization that is alive till today. Till today, an ideal mix of strength and flexibility. So I say nothing wrong with it, as long as whatever you add in the modern way is done with respect. Right?
Yeah.
And I'd seen some things of, I remember I'd written on that someone who put some marks of our faith or some of the pictures of our gods on doormats. I'm like, boss, that's not okay. Sorry. That completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. That's not okay. But if someone wants to show, our gods and goddesses holding hands, cool, man. Boss, in the Gupta age, our gods and goddesses were sculpted on temples doing far more things than just holding hands.
Yeah.
Right? And that was relevant to the Indians of that era. So they accepted it. Right?
Awesome.
So as long as it's done respectfully, I find nothing wrong with adding something of the modern, which makes it relevant once again.
Cool.